Good morning, friends, and welcome to day 30 of this devotional journey that we've been on throughout Lent, based on Pete Greig's book, God on Mute. And I hope that you have been finding this journey as refreshing, as renewing, and also causing us to be honest with ourselves, honest with God, knowing that God is with us and God is for us, and He has not abandoned us. Today, I'd like us to begin with just pausing and breathing in God's love and God's grace as we center ourselves in this psalm. Psalm 55, 6 through 8, verses 6 through 8. Hear these words as I read them for you. Oh, that I had the wings of a dove. I would fly away and be at rest. I would flee far away and stay in the desert. I would hurry to my place of shelter, far from the tempest and the storm. Let me say that one more time. Oh, that I had the wings of a dove. I would fly away and be at rest. I would flee far away and stay in the desert. I would hurry to my place of shelter, far from the tempest and storm. I don't know if you've ever identified with those words that you've just heard me read from the psalmist. Those words of running away from something, some challenge that you're facing in life. You would just rather, you dream of if you only had the wings of a dove, as the psalmist puts it, whatever that may mean for you, to just get away from whatever it is, that difficult situation, that difficult conversation, that experience, whatever it is, if you could just flee from it. We've all been there at one time or another, and maybe we are there this morning. There's a story from Eli Wiesel. He is a rabbi in the Jewish faith, and he talks about a devastating story of a hanging of a boy at Auschwitz. And maybe you've heard this story before. And while the other prisoners are watching, this little boy is hung. And the other people who are being hung around him, they die quickly. But for this little boy, doesn't die very quickly. He stays there, and he's hanging. And Eli Wiesel just talks about how he is captured by this little boy and the agony in his eyes. And we had to look at him, he says. We had to look at him full in the face. He was still alive as I passed in front of him. His tongue was still red. His eyes were not yet glazed. Behind me, I heard the same man asking, Where is God in this? And I heard a voice within me answer him, Where is he? Where is he? Here he is. He is hanging here on this gallows. Is there any aspect to your current situation or to my current experience in life, however bleak it may be, to which I can point and say, with a mixture of horror and of hope, there is God? Is it possible to identify His presence within the pain of my present predicament, or only in the prospect of some future deliverance? So I'd take a little time now to thank Jesus for coming close to each and every one of us in our doubts and in our despair, in all those situations of life, for suffering with me and for me. You know, that's the major difference between our faith and followers of Jesus. We have a God who suffers along with us, not a God who is distant and removed, a God who walks with us in all those experiences, a God who literally hung on a cross for us. But praise God, the story doesn't end there. And we know, since we're living on this side of the crucifixion and the resurrection, that there is hope. There is hope in Jesus. And we're getting ready to celebrate that hope that is found in him. A hope for new life, a hope for a fresh beginning and a new start. And so wherever you find yourself today, my prayer is that you will discover that Jesus is walking with you in the midst of the experience that you find yourself in, and that you don't need to flee from it, even though you may feel like fleeing from it, but that God is with you in the midst of the hurt and the pain, turning those sorrows into hope, into joy. And so, would you yield this day to Jesus as we center ourselves in Galatians 2:20 from the Message Bible? I have been crucified with Christ. My ego is no longer central. It is no longer important that I appear righteous before others, and I'm no longer driven to impress God. Christ lives in me. The life I am living is not mine, but it is lived by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and who gave himself for me. I'm not going to pull back on that. Praise God. And so may you have a great day today, and may you experience and feel God's presence with you. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.